You want to hit your mics, please? You got yours? There we go. Great. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to do a quick housekeeping. If you have a cell phone, please put it on silent or vibrate. If there's a need for any conversation, please just step outside so we can continue with our meeting here. A regular meeting of the City Planning Board will be held on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the City Council chambers on the second floor of the Mount Vernon City Hall. The Planning Board work session was held on Tuesday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. and that is via Zoom. Applicants and members of the public will be permitted to attend and make public comments via in-person attendance and Zoom. Before we get started with the agenda, I would just like to have a moment of silence for our esteemed former zoning chair, Erwin Davison, who's passed. He was the zoning chair for over 40 years for the city of Mount Vernon. So just in his memory, just would like to have a brief moment of silence. Okay, thank you. I'm going to start with item number 1, which is a roll call. I'm going to start on my left-hand side. Darrell Celsey.
Jamel Thompson.
Vivian Salmon.
Colleen Thompson Jenga.
Okay, let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. Item number 2, of approval of minutes, September 9th, October 8th, November 5th. I'm making a motion that we table these minutes until the January meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Okay, motion is carried. Item number 3 is public hearing, continuation of public hearing, case 3.1, case number PB-25-5, 27 Beach Street. Good evening, Mr. Badali.
Well, I don't know, I'm not the AD guy, I'm gonna try my best. Okay, thank you. I'm still in this, you know, pretty, I'm still in get the both of them.
So Shane Badali to Wilson Place, Mount Vernon, New York, representing the applicant. Two before you last month, and some very significant comments from the fire department. As a result of that, we made some clarification, added some details, and provided additional one. The newsletter includes quite a few things, including the code analysis for display of the overall sprinkler system. As well as a full set of mechanical components to play the exhaust system and the fresh air and ventilation. We also have just an update in terms of the load calculations and displaying bathrooms. The two bathrooms on either floor do function properly for the total occupancy of the house.
There's no clue.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Badali, continue. Just speak a little louder. So,
If I may, we go on the site, essentially we provided an analysis that displayed how we were hitting each one of those fire department comments. There's no real effective changes to the drawings, except that we did expand the landscaping a little bit just to be a little more robust. On the two sides, we also expanded the section clearly display the work as it relates to the curbs and sidewalks and where the curb cuts are gonna start and end, where it wasn't previously defined.
Mhm.
Currently, I'm just refreshing board's memory that on each street, the asphalt goes right up to the building. So it's proposed to build a curb, and to build a sidewalk, as well as along Robertson Street. I believe it is Robertson Avenue, even though the survey does display street. Which on our side is in the city of Mount Vernon, on the opposite side of the street is in the city of New York. But we do intend to improve our side as well. So. Well, we can provide an updated landscape, total and both sides of the street. And we look for the next page. We also provided a camera plan on the outside, so it's just like the security cameras that are gonna be put up.
Check. 2, 1, 2.
Provided a lighting plan to display where the exterior lighting is gonna go.
Mic check 1, 2.
No.
The street, there are extensive mechanic systems inside the building as well. But just in terms of the exterior buildings related, we have two rooftop unit positions here. And we do have some other small vent penetrations, but they're not used to stay. And essentially, so the idea is that we do believe that the application will be in full compliance with all of the private comments that are issued. Our intent to meet and comply with all of the conditions for these. I think that they, all of the commentary that was provided. I don't think there's any question.
All right, can you just go over the, I'm sorry, the enhanced landscaping?
From both sides of the building. It is an elevated area. And it's proposed to have grass. As well as some flowering rhododendrons and azalea bushes. And then this is a different type of grass, which is more ornamental. It is a pretty skinny area, so you were hoping not to put something that was being tall. Just in terms of maintenance against the building and. So there's the two areas, and then the entire two front yards are fully paved right now.
Okay, I don't have any questions on the landscaping. Anybody else have any questions? All right, just to go over to some of the comments from the fire department.
Sorry, did you show us the back ones? I know they mentioned the two. Actually. Wow.
We are Beach Street.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
And probably in the same location, on the second floor, you're in the bathroom. So the occupant load does require 2 bathrooms total in the building.
Yeah.
And there's a code section that essentially allows us to use, up to 1 floor staircase to access the bathroom, so the both floors do need to be able to access both bathrooms. But we do have a sufficient amount of, it's mostly gonna be one or two employees at most in this building, if it is even occupied. But the large majority is for just vehicle schools.
Correct. Okay. I know that was the comments from,
Yeah, to make sure we met the minimum.
Right.
Thank you.
Being that we are in close proximity to the Bronx, was there any objection noticed?
So we did a lead agency circulation. Nobody objected. People did go on record. The various agencies went on record saying they did not have an objection, so we can move on. But we did not receive any response from New York City with any comments. We did receive a response from the County Planning Board, no comments.
Thank you. Right, before I turn it over to the public, any other further questions from planning board members or staff, council?
No.
Well, actually, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. The County Planning Board did make comments. I'm sorry.
Okay.
However, I believe I read these into the record at the last meeting. Because the date of the County Planning Board letter is November 3rd. We received it before the meeting.
Okay,
But their comments were about the sidewalk. The applicant should work to ensure that the property is as it is redeveloped, sidewalks are reestablished along the Beach Street and Robinson Street frontages. And then they made a comment about landscaping. As there is currently a residence located to the south of the property, we recommend the applicant include landscaping along the southern setback area in order to provide screening for the proposed building.
okay, thank you.
This is the south.
Mhm. All right, I'm going to ask if there's anyone from the public that's here in regards to this application that would like to speak. Okay, please come forward and state your name for the record, please. Good evening.
So we did agree notice that was sent, it was stated that if there were any objections, that the enclosed notice attachments would be able to be submitted, nothing was submitted, if there was an objection. My question is, have you heard townhouses?
No, no.
Oh.
No, this different one. This is on, that's why I was asking about this particular application. This is on Beach Street.
No
That's
worries.
okay. No worries. Okay, we'll see you shortly. Okay. All right. Is there anyone online?
Not
Facebook?
not
No.
currently.
Okay.
No.
Council?
Yes, can I run through the site plan and special permit requirements with the applicant?
Yes, please.
Second. Okay. Mr. Badali, just to make sure that I have it right in front of me, we're going to go through the traffic and environmental standards for site plans. Can you talk about the vehicle and pedestrian traffic circulation, both within and outside the site?
Yes, there's two proposed and two entryways to the buildings. The site is on a through lot between Robertson Avenue and Beach Street, and each first floor is essentially grade, or each floor is essentially grade with the street. So there is a double wide curb cut proposed on Beach Street, which leads to a very large garage door. And there's also a swinging entry door on Beach Street for pedestrians. And on Robertson Avenue, there's a single wide garage door, and as well, there's a walkway and a pedestrian swinging door that enters the building. So There's two means to get in and out of the building, both for cars and pedestrians, and they go on each side of the lot. And then with that, we're also bringing on each street, we're gonna improve the sidewalks on building back of Robertson. They exist, but we will reconstruct them as necessary for our project.
Thank you. And visibility in both directions at all exit points.
Yeah, so we, no obstruction, having exit the street is actually quite visible, just leaving the garage door. There is significant parking that happens on that street, and so traffic is actually pretty slow as a result of that on Orchid. Robertson, the traffic moves a little bit faster because there isn't that much obstruction by cars and parking. It is a smaller street, but it's a one-way street, and so again, there's no real obstruction. In fact, I think the building was more set back in that area as well, so a car would be able to actually pull out of the garage door, look both ways, and then enter traffic.
Thank you. Adequacy of parking facilities. Adequacy of parking facilities.
Actually, building is a parking facility. So the top of the building is slated as a vehicle storage area, and the bottom is an auto repair area. This building is essentially an ancillary, or I shouldn't call it that. It's a secondary facility for JV Body Works, which is down the street. And so they will store cars that are not being worked on, as well as on the top floor. And that has quite a bit of storage. The exact amount being, that the building requires four parking spaces and one loading space, to meet zoning. So we have in excess of 10 spaces on each floor. And so the building is a lot more than it actually needs. And the employees of the building would be very minimal, so there wouldn't actually be much need for, and it's not a customer, it's not a building that accepts customers, so it'd be a very actual low parking load in reality.
Thank you. And the interconnection between the adequacy of facilities for physically handicapped.
So both entrances on both streets are fully accessible. The doors are accessible, they have accessible clearances, the walkways are accessible, and the entirety of the inside of both floors are also accessible. As well as the bathrooms.
Adequacy for emergency vehicle circulation.
Yep, so the existing streets are both public streets that the site faces, and they're both in excess of the minimum width required for fire apparatus access. The building itself, being less than 35 feet high, doesn't require aerial apparatus access. It just requires the fire truck essentially be able to pull up to it. And so both sites have adequate asphalt roadway fronting that a truck can park and service the site.
Thank you. And the location of walls, fences, hedges, and plantings, those are all shown on your landscape plans and site plans.
That's correct. Yeah, so there's no retaining walls except the building essentially. All the walls are fully connected to the building, but there is some significant landscaping displayed on the plans and a little bit of if you want to call it fencing, sure.
Okay. And your stormwater management.
So it's fully contained within the site, and as well as we have an oil water separator, which was one of the questions that was raised in the previous meeting. So the stormwater management is fully contained within the site, and any debris or possible flow from a car is captured in a water separator, which is regularly maintained, and the stormwater system would then infiltrate into the ground.
Thank you. Can you talk a bit about your lighting plan?
Sure. So we don't have much lighting. There's really just lights above the doors. So there's lights on the front and the back of the building above each of the doors. And there is a lighting plan submitted as well.
Okay. Give me a second to pull up the special permit requirements. Okay, can you talk about the nature and intensity of the operations? Would they be in harmony with the orderly development of the area?
Yeah, it definitely can. So, I mean, the area itself is highly industrial. It already contains a large amount of auto repair use on the street as well as other warehousing. Our building is in conformance with that as it's an auto storage area and an auto repair building. Yeah, does that answer the question?
That's fair.
Cool.
What type of repairs are anticipated?
Sure, yeah, so it's actually original or current tenancy would be in conjunction with Miller Motor Cars, which is a dealership located in Greenwich, Connecticut. And essentially they would bring high-end cars from there, store them in conjunction and perform minor repairs on the first floor and then bring them into the auto body shop, which is across the street for the heavier auto body repairs. But there would be no auto body repairs within this building.
Okay, and is there anything with the operations regarding noise, traffic, fumes, vibrations, other characteristics that might present concern in the area?
Well, the building itself would have a mechanical system which would filter any air. There wouldn't be any additional fumes or anything produced aside from the standard amount of exhaust from a vehicle. And all of the operations would be fully contained within the building. The building itself is constructed of 12-inch concrete walls and a concrete slab on the roof and floors. So it would likely mitigate noise pretty well. But I don't have actual data on how much noise would be propagated, but I don't believe any would really exit the building so long as the doors are maintained closed during all of their operations. And there shouldn't be any vibrations or any other type of nuisances created.
Okay, thank you. That completes my questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I don't.
So I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Let's see, we have to deal with SECRA. This is a unlisted action, so if we could do the type 1, we could do the short form if you have the information that are available, so that we go through it.
Okay. Okay, 11 questions on the short EAF. Responses can be no or small impact, or moderate to large impact may occur. 1, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
No.
2, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? Okay. No to small. 3, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. 4, will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area, CEA?
No.
5, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? 6, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and fail to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No, okay. 7 has an A and a B. Will the proposed action impact existing A, public-private water supplies? Or B, public-private wastewater treatment utilities? 8, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? 9, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, e.g. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
No.
10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? And 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay, that completes the questions on part 2. If you wish, the board can vote to adopt a negative declaration for this application.
Make a motion that we issue a negative declaration, this application. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion, there's a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Okay, motion carries. All right. Anyone like to present a motion in regard to this application? I'm sorry. I will make a motion that we ask for staff to draft a resolution in regards to this application. And then that resolution will incorporate all of the information that has been discussed at the previous meeting and this evening, and encompassing the comments that council has had and also the other interested agencies that have commented on this application.
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a new public hearing. This is 3.2, case number PB 25-15, 136 East Third Street. How are you today?
Members of the board, what? May I speak?
That's my architect, Vladimir. That's my architect.
Oh, you architect on the, okay. All right.
Hi, I'm not sure if you could hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but just if you could just state your name for the record again, so when the minutes are compiled, we have that information, please.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vladimir Levin. I am the architect for the project. I'll just briefly introduce the project. The current tenant, Jason Rudolph, who's standing in front of you, runs a car detailing business in this location. It currently has 2 bays where he performs those services. He's looking to put a car lift into one of the bays, and to expand his business to include car repair as well as car detailing.
Okay. So you want to add a bay? You want to add a lift?
I'm sorry.
You want to add a lift?
Oh,
in there?
I mean, it used to be a car repair shop. Then last year I took the lift out. I should have never took it out.
Okay, okay,
Now we're here.
okay. All right. And that's pretty straightforward.
But when you remove the lift, are you putting it in the same place or?
Same thing.
Okay.
All right, I don't have any questions.
What type of repairs would you like to?
Mechanic repairs, oil changes, brakes, little repairs.
Okay. That is allowed.
All right, so oil changes, brake repair, car detailing,
Basically tune-ups.
tune-ups, okay. All right, is there an existing oil separator there now?
I don't think so.
Okay, is your, I'm sorry, if we could have the architect just, I'm asking about since we're talking about oil changes there, how is that going to be dealt with?
Well, Jason will implement whatever things he needs to. I think, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but this use is also regulated by the state, so you have to get a state license to do the work. So whatever they require, he'll have at the shop.
So I'm actually, I'm in the process of with the state, so he's just waiting for this certificate. And then he's gonna come back and then he's gonna tell me everything I need to put in the shop.
Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions? Questions?
Just a lift. So,
Okay, all right. Any additional questions?
I have some,
Comments from a few public comments and comments from the county planning board, when you're ready. So the county planning board responded with no comment because the application is below a threshold. Anything that's below 5,000 square feet of new or renovated floor area, they do not comment. So they just responded to that effect. We have 2 forms that got submitted. We have a consent form that was submitted by Mr. Conrad Cutler. Consent form. And then we have there was another consent form submitted by, just bear with me. Oscar Davis submitted a consent form, and then we have an objection form. This is from Charlene Wilson. So Ms. Wilson attached additional information to her objection form, but these are regulations. It was just a sheet of regulations. So I'm not really sure what the conclusion is. Can you please speak to this? Yeah, You're better than I am at voicing your concerns. Thank you. Yes, please,
Yes, if you
please,
wouldn't
please.
mind coming up and just stating your name for the record, please. Thank you.
My objection to this particular situation is that the community doesn't need it. We have right across the street on the right-hand side, there's a mechanic. Around the corner on Third, next to the church, there's another additional mechanic. We have, if you go to the left, what is that, on Third and I want to say First, there's another mechanic that's sitting there. They are already operating as a hand car wash. Where is this remnants of this car wash draining to? Their zone, not zone, but their tax class is of a parking lot, not a car detailing, not a hand car wash, none of these things. I've witnessed in the summertime, they've had cars parked alongside the property on Third, encroaching on the city sidewalk where children, adults can't walk on the sidewalk because there's cars waiting to get service that's sitting on the sidewalk waiting to go into their property. On top of that, back in 2022, the issue came up about the car lifts there. There was an issue there because I was the inspector at the time. And we went through a whole big conversation. I think at the time it was former Chief Kristen Reed took it upon herself after we issued a violation for the car lifts that was there. Took it upon herself. We had a meeting in Commissioner Holder's office. And she said, well, I'm going to go over there myself and do my own inspection. And came back and said, well, there's only one lift that's still there, but it's removable. So, you know, I'm just saying, she issued a memo requesting that buildings department dismiss whatever fees that they had for not filing the annual car lift. I attached it to the yeah, I don't know if you guys want to see it. I had attached it to my objection. So this property has given issues over time when it comes to this car lift. The community doesn't need it. We have enough mechanics in this community. We don't need it. And my thing is that if we're at this point in time, you're operating as two businesses under one umbrella. So either you are a parking lot, or you are a car wash, which is a separate business, or you're a car dealer, car detailing, which is a separate business. So you have three businesses at one location. Doesn't make sense. So if you're going to be a car dealer, a dealership, a detailer, then change the whole property class then. Put it for what it really is and make them pay the appropriate taxes. It's unfair for the residentials around there that we're carrying the loads because these commercial businesses, they come today and then they're gone tomorrow. And then the city comes looking at the backs of the homeowners to pick up this extra load of taxes that everybody ain't paying or not paying the accordingly. And it's not right. We don't need the extraness in the community. We already have lack of parking because Fulton is closed down. So the people can live 2-3 blocks over and they're parking between, what is that? Harrison, Franklin, Madison. We getting a plethora of traffic. We don't need any more. We can barely get them to slow down when the kids are crossing the street. And it's unfair for kids to have to walk in the street because they can't walk on the sidewalk because there's cars waiting to get into this particular property. It's not fair. And as we all know that Franklin and Third is a high traffic area, you get accidents all the time over there. We just had one recently before the summer was over where a car was flipped over and landed into the gas station. We don't need it. You know, if they're gonna do a car detailing and car washing, they need to go work with fire, figure out where the stuff is draining and have the necessary permits and stuff that's on hand to do the proper inspections. We're gonna call it what it is.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak in regard to this application who is here present or?
We had someone just join us online, but it's not clear if they're here for this application. They have not unmuted themselves, so they must be here for something else. I will add, though, that two city departments did respond to the application, and they had no comments. It was the Department of Public Works has no objections, and then the fire department has no objections.
Does the architect or the applicant would like to respond to the comments that were just made?
Well, Jason, feel free to say what you have to say, but I'll just briefly say that, well, we can't comment on the tax class of the property. I don't know if that's a subject for this meeting, but I will say that the intensity of the use is not being increased by adding a lift to one of the bays. It's still going to remain 2 bays, and whether there is a car getting an oil changed or a car getting detailed, the intensity of the use remains the same.
Okay.
So this place I've had it for 3 years. One, I don't park no cars on the street. Everything is in-house. I only deal with specialty cars. So imagine me parking a Ferrari or something like that on the street. I know you guys seen the spot. I came in there. I made the corner beautiful. It used to be a hellhole. It used to be a car mechanic shop there before. I don't know. There were cars there on the streets. They weren't mine. They was from the previous owner. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to improve Mount Vernon. I was born and raised here. I went to Mount Vernon High School. I graduated in 95. I came back here, after 20 years of living somewhere else. I came back here to bring my business here. And what we're doing is phenomenal over there. Like, it's beautiful. Did you guys see the corner over there? It's beautiful. Now, what you're saying about the cars, I never had cars on the parking lot on the street parked, unless workers came from fixing the building. That's the only time. But I don't know. I don't know. You have anything to say?
Yes, we're trying to be installed. Maybe the building, we're trying to improve, we're trying to focus more on exotic vehicles and, imagine you parking a Ferrari in the street.
Right. No, that's right. Yeah, come back up just for a second.
I only deal with exotic cars. All my cars are shipped from out of state. I get cars from California, Florida, all over. They come here and we do detailing. PPFing, like the color change of the car, wrapping the car, that's, stuff like that.
People are scared to bring those cars into them.
That's why I gated it the way I did, because I don't want nobody in my property. Thank God we haven't had an issue since I've been there, but I don't see it increasing traffic, blocking people, because people block me. Every Sunday I call the cops because the churches block me. And that whole strip is for the bus. It's a bus stop there. Every Sunday I call, because there's 3 cars blocking my entrances, 2 entrances, one on Franklin and one on 3rd Street.
How many cars did you say that, normally do you have at a time that you're working on?
1 or 2.
1 or 2? Okay.
So they have to stay inside.
Right.
If you ride by there, you're not gonna see no
Right.
exotic car sitting outside. They're in the shop, in the garage.
Thank you. Hi.
Exotic car on the sidewalk outside of your property. I've witnessed it multiple times. Once, maybe 2 times, I've witnessed it. Of course, Oscar Davis would consent to it. It's his property and it's behind the house that he owns as well. So where your business is, right behind that is Oscar's home. You guys also do car wash there. You have a whole tent there that says hand car wash.
There's no tent there. Last time you guys.
I have a picture. So
Okay.
either way, you may have taken it down because it was a portable car wash. It says hand car wash. Either way, where is this stuff going once you drain it? When you're sitting here washing cars,
Okay, that's, okay, I'll let you, yeah.
I've been there since 2014. Yes, what he said is correct, that there was a lot there before. It never had two means of egress. It had one, which was on Third. Somehow, that second one came there. Though nobody seems to know. All I'm saying is, Oscar would say yes, because it's his property. You understand me? So why would I object to my own property expanding? The same way when the issue came before, when that property was issued violations, and it was a shitstorm. He got upset, started posting stuff on social media because he was given violations, legitimate violations. That's all that I'm saying. You read between the lines, however you want to read between the lines. The community doesn't need another car repair shop over there. We have enough. Right next to him, there's two. And then on the other side of him, there's a lot that's, I think Pete owns. The tow company, the tow guy, Pete, there's a lot next door to that property they own. Just enough in that community. You wouldn't find this extra stuff anywhere else, not even on the north side. If you want to beautify, I get it. I'm not going to down you that, yes, I've seen some pretty cars over there, but we don't need that extraness over there. We just had Weston Beef renovated. Phenomenal. I have no complaints. None at all. I'm just saying we don't need the extraness. There's been a back and forth with this car lift from 2022. Y'all saw the paperwork. I have no reason to lie.
Okay, any other questions, comments? No. No?
Yes.
All right. Okay, please,
May
counsel.
I? Okay.
Yep.
This question is for both the architect and the applicant.
Just,
This
sorry, could you speak up just a little bit?
These questions are for both the architect and applicant. This is an application for a special permit use. And under the zoning code, section 26730, you must also present a site plan that meets the site plan requirements under Article 7. So as I did with the last application, I'd like to go through the site plan elements, and if you could speak to each element. Okay. One is regarding the vehicle and pedestrian traffic. Can you describe the circulation of vehicular and pedestrian traffic, both on and off your premises? And the architect online, feel free to chime in.
Jason, can you come up to the podium and talk about how cars enter?
My
and-
traffic is only appointments only. I only do appointments only. So it's limited traffic. I only have 2 bays there, so I only could hold but so many cars.
And how many entrances and exits did you say you have?
We have 3.
How is the visibility on both directions at all of the exit points?
You can come out and you could, it's clear on all sides.
Do you feel your establishment will have a significant impact on the traffic that's already in the area?
No,
And why not?
because I only do appointments only.
And I'd just like to also just point out the point that I made earlier is that the intensity of the use is not being increased. We're not adding extra bays to the garage. So as Jason said, there's two bays. It'll continue to be two bays, whether there's a lift in there or not. The capacity is two, lift or no lift.
Thank you. How about emergency vehicles? Is there enough space for emergency vehicles to circulate freely?
Yes.
Explain, please.
Explain that.
The streets that,
Oh, it's
A
a
bunch of-
two-way, Third Street is two ways. And Franklin Avenue, it's one way.
We're detailing ambulances for East Chester. So ambulances are able to go in and out the garage and around the facility.
okay. What about your stormwater management, your drainage? How will you address that?
We have drainage in the building. There's built-in drains inside the building already that was existing.
Well, if you're referring to the stormwater management, I mean, it's whatever system is in place and has been in place. Our project doesn't propose to create any new impervious surfaces or change any of that.
Okay. I would ask if maybe your site plans can just show that, show what the stormwater, what the existing is.
Okay.
Could be a revision. How about exterior lighting?
It's lighting everywhere.
Motion light.
Motion lights, cameras. I have cameras with lights on there. Lights every angle of the building.
I would imagine so, because the gentleman said
Definitely.
people are scared to bring their cars there.
Yeah.
All right, so you have security, right, so you have security cameras that cover the entire
Cover,
problem, okay,
the cops come to my shop at least once a month for video.
all right. Do you know what the retention time is on there? How many days you have?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, all right. Usually we like to see for 60 days,
Mhm.
okay? Would that be
Well, you
something?
know what it is because the cameras is so much motion, so they record on motion, so it's so much activity because it's a two-way street, so it's nonstop from 6 a.m. to about, what time that gas station closed, like 11, 12, something like that.
But if you could increase that capacity
Yeah.
so that it could be
Okay.
up to 2 months, because that is something that we try to do for, public safety.
Mhm.
So they already are familiar. So this way, if they need to go back any further, that they would have that information readily available.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions?
I do have a question. I'm stuck on this. People are scared to bring their cars there. Why are you there then? Why do you want to have a business there if people are scared to bring
No,
their
I'm
cars?
not scared. What do you
Well,
mean?
that's what the gentleman said that's with you behind.
Listen, some people, when they hear Mount Vernon, they get scared coming here
So then I ask you, then why you want to have the business here?
because I'm from here. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. That's what he said. I didn't say it.
Thank you. So.
I've been here for what? 4 years now? I've been here.
So essentially, the cars that come in for detailing, you want to be able to do additional repairs to those same vehicles as they come.
Exactly. Those cars,
If
not
needed.
the regular cars, if needed.
Sometimes they want to detail the brakes, take the wheels off, need a lift to clean their brakes properly. I own a car lot, a couple car lots.
I'm sorry, we didn't get your name.
Richard Nacho.
Richard Nacho.
Okay. So it'd be for the cars that have the appointments, so you know, just a thorough, so if they want everything clean, that you're able to.
I done, I've tried to do like a regular car wash there. Nobody came, like for the whole summer. That's why I'm doing it this way. Special cars, appointments only. It works. The other way it wasn't working.
So, you know, I've driven past your place of business. You have a parking lot and things of that nature. So, when you mentioned cars parked, you're saying those are not your vehicles. Those are just happen to be cars that are in that area?
Those are my cars.
Those are your cars
Yeah.
that were parked outside on the
No,
sidewalk?
no, in the shop.
I get that.
No, I don't know whose cars those are. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't park exotic cars on the sidewalk. Why would I? Like, someone could easily hit it, come by. I want to be safe. I wouldn't park them on the curb like that. I'll park a regular car, but not no exotic car.
How many parking spaces do you have in here?
Probably like 12. Yeah, 12 parking spaces. Not including inside the garage. If you include inside the garage, 14.
Well, I know you do great community service. Last year you gave backpacks last year.
Yeah,
for
I gave
kids,
2
and then you
truck
gave
loads of toys, and the
toys
city
for
didn't even thank me
Christmas,
for it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And
before.
turkeys.
And the turkeys,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that, yeah.
We,
So you
this is
do
not a
community
normal
service.
thing. Like, me and my friends, we've been doing this for 10 years now.
Right.
Every Wednesday, we feed the homeless on 34th Street for 7 years straight. Doesn't matter if it rains, snow, sleet, we're
Right.
there.
So you do get back to the
Yeah,
community.
we
in
all
some
the time.
ways.
Just eat back 35,000 turkeys.
Mhm.
What's the condition, because I drove by there, of the sidewalk that's there? Seems a little beat up.
It is from the buses. That's a bus stop right there. It's been like that for a while.
What about in front of where you are? No,
Nope, my place is fine.
any other?
That's it. Staff will send a note just regarding revisions. We'd like to like to see the lighting plan, the camera plan, stormwater plan, ingress, egress, things of that nature.
Okay.
That would be fine. What about fumes? Do your operations give off any fumes that
No.
might?
Nope.
Okay. And does your lighting spill over into neighboring properties? Is it downward facing?
Downward.
Okay, I think that's all I have.
Good evening. May I ask a question? My name is Bassem Shayla, Mount Vernon resident. Is Mr. Darrell there?
I'm sorry, who is that?
Bassem Shayla.
This is someone from the Zoom,
Correct.
is on Zoom.
Co-
Yeah,
Yes.
Some from the public wants to speak about this application.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. I'm sorry, your
That-
name, please, for the record?
It's on with the firefighter uniform, Bassem Shayla. That's me. For the records.
His name is Besim Shala. That's
Okay.
right.
That's correct.
it's on the-
Okay.
A question for the fellow that is, are you going to have I'm sorry, because I was, have any discharge water? Is it a car wash, or how do you planning to collect the contaminated? Will it be any contaminated water? That's the main concern. Is it going to tie to the city storm or city sewer?
No, we have drains inside the building.
When you're
Collecting-
washing, you're detailing the cars.
I can't
One second.
really.
Hold on 1 second. When you're detailing the cars,
Mhm.
this is being done inside,
Yes,
okay? And so the drains that are inside are taking the water.
yes.
Okay, all right.
It's not discharging anywhere. You're collecting and
What are those drains attached to?
Vladimir's?
Are you saying you can't hear me well, or?
No, I can't.
It's,
know exactly
yeah,
what
it's a
that
little
is?
distorted. That's the only thing. So it's a little difficult, hearing what
Okay.
you were saying.
The question is, either if it's a detail or a car wash or body work, however, there will be some water. I'm not sure what is the application for, but the water that you use, will it be tied, the discharge, where is it being discharged? In the city, or you have a dedicated storage tank to that?
Okay, I think I understood what you were saying.
Thank
So
you,
in terms
Daryl.
of that'd be Chairman Celsi. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all
Chairman.
right. Thank you.
I don't think Jason is washing cars inside the shop. I don't think that's a part of the detailing that he does. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there are drains there that connect to the plumbing system, which goes to the sewer system.
I have a car wash in 10-minute radius of the shop. So most of the cars that get washed anyway are coming from my first location. Then when they get involved, they get wrapped, they get stuff like that, they're coming to this facility so that they can do it indoors.
Okay. So, and I think, is it on 22? Is that where you have
Lincoln Avenue?
It's in Pelham.
in Pelham? Okay, all right. Okay.
The one on Lincoln Ave, right on Fifth Avenue?
Oh, yeah, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right there in Pelham, okay. So, so the majority of the cars are being washed there, and then the detailing is taking place.
I don't have a lot of room to detail cars about the.
No, I know the location, so yeah, so I can see.
So now you're using this garage to do some of the buffing and stuff like that.
Okay,
Where it's cleaner and.
right, so like a full detail as opposed to just, kind of like a,
Swimming, yeah, machines and stuff like that, where we can really focus on the car, we bring it in.
okay. Okay.
So the question is, you're using the lift, now you're doing oil changes or whatever, now you need equipment to separate that. So you're going to install that into the facility.
So like I told you, the state, I'm in with the state. I have, after this, I have to send him the information. He's going to come back out. And before he issues the license, he has to run through a checklist and he has to tell me everything I have to do before I can open it up. One is the oil and the water, the separator and all that stuff. So I'm just waiting for this so I could get into that process next.
I heard you tell us that.
Yeah.
Someone asked a question.
Right.
That's why we
Gotcha.
So everyone's on the same page.
Right.
Right.
I mean, the state is not, if it's not right, the state's not gonna let me do it regardless. So I have to do everything.
I don't know.
We allowed to request a copy of the state's report.
Well, I mean, that would be part of, so I think that one of the commissioners was asking about the state, certification. So, if this application were to move forward, that would be something, part of the resolution that they would have to have whatever, necessary licenses, state and, county and even city if required as well. So that would be something that would be in the resolution and they would have to, in order to, basically, be open, have that information. So, okay, but very good question.
It has to deal with DOT, DEP, and so on and so forth in order to be a code compliance. But that was my question. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so give me 1 second. I just have to go through this for a second. While I'm just checking on something here. Council, is there anything else that you had a question about? Or there,
No question.
fellow commissioners, are there any questions that you have for the applicant at the moment?
Not at the moment. Okay. Architect has to come back with plans.
Yeah, we can get it. We actually need to have plans. So I think that from the information that's been discussed today, you could actually, put together, the information that would be required for us to make a determination. So I think that one of the questions I think that still is a little unsure of was there, understand that there's drainage in the building itself for the times in which, some of the washing is taking place. Where is that water? It's going into the drains, and what are the drains tied into? I think is a question that we have. I'll ask the architect to respond.
I mean, I don't know what the, what the existing plumbing consists of. There's no way for me to know that. I have to assume that it's connected to the sewer system.
And that brings to the flow calculation on the sewage system to the amount added.
Not washing the cars in the shop, so.
All right, okay, so
No
washing of cars is gonna
No
take place
washing
in the
of
car?
cars, no.
Okay, so that's a little bit different, because
no washing.
I thought that some washing. was
Lincoln
taking
Avenue
place.
is the washing.
Okay, all right, so no washing is being done there. It's all being done, the other location.
Yes.
Being brought for the detailed finished
Detailed.
product on there, okay. And so in terms of oil and stuff like that,
That's
gonna get the separator, that's
state.
gonna be state
Yeah.
regulated, okay. All right, so you understand, because we wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that whatever, contaminants, potential contaminants aren't going into the actual, sewer system.
Gotcha.
From the property, okay. So in terms of, that can be a condition that they could not wash the vehicles there.
I just have one more question.
Sure.
Why'd you take the lift out?
I asked myself the same thing because I wasn't planning on using it until I was planning on doing the car wash thing. And then I told you, I tried it. And we didn't get no clients, so now I have to do the whole different direction and getting the lift so the wash underneath the car. I mean, mechanics, the lift does so many things for us if we had it.
How come you're not doing 2 lifts?
I don't need 2 lifts.
You don't need 2 lifts.
Just one. Like I said, it's appointment only. It's very small. It's like a boutique place.
I live around the corner, I know.
I know. I see you all the time. I know a lot of you, but you guys don't, like I told you, I was born here. I was raised here. I went to school here. I know a lot of you faces. I left when I was 18, so my face is probably unrecognizable.
How many staff members do you have working with you at this time?
Just me right now because there's no business. It's dead.
All right, so the only, I mean, I still have a concern because when you're talking about, you know, having the lifts, you know.
A lift.
So, a lift.
I mean, the lift was there in the shop for 30 years
Yeah,
already.
but it's not the
Yeah.
lift that I'm concerned about. Putting the cars up there, and in order to really detail that properly, I'm assuming that you're gonna have to wash no, you don't have to wash.
No, we don't wash, no.
No.
Who washes underneath the
I
car?
don't know. I mean, you've got big exotic cars. I figured that,
No,
you
no,
know,
no,
you're
no,
gonna
no.
make sure that
No.
everything is
Not underneath.
done
No.
and spotless underneath as
No,
well.
no.
No, all right. I just learned something.
If you wanna wash underneath, bring it to me. Wash.
All right, no, listen, I learned something new today. I love to learn things. All right, so that was my question. So you answered it, thank you.
And I filed for a permit and removed the lift last year. And she stated that I don't know what she stated, talking about there were lifts there. I know there was a lift. When I rented the shop, a lift was there already. I fixed the shop up and then I had the lift removed. I know you can see in the report, I filed for a permit and I got it removed. But I should have never did that though.
Hold on one second.
Never did that.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, would you like to add something?
So you then after the fact, after this end up back in there again. So that was the whole issue.
I have
Hold on a second.
Property, the lifts were in there. I
Right.
left the lifts there. I had to, I painted the inside of the shop. The lifts were still there. I have videos of the whole process. I went to the city, I got a permit and they were removed.
Okay, so currently right now, what's there? Hold on, no, one second, Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, 1 second. 1 second, just asking a question. You have one lift there now?
No lifts.
No lift,
No
thank you,
lifts.
that was the question, because I was confused by that. So there's no lifts in there now.
Yeah, and when she came, I remember the day she came there and she lied.
Okay, all right, okay. So, okay, Mr. Davis, you feel free to, you know, I just wanted to make sure. So there are no lifts there. Perfect. Hold on a second. Mr. Davis, it's your time, that's all.
No, much.
When I bought this property from the city, the lift was already there, grandfathered in, all right? This young lady that used to work for the city came in and wrote a false complaint, a violation that we installed lifts, which it wasn't true. He did not need the lift. He had it removed. He got a permit, did the right thing, and had it removed, all right? If you live in that community,
I just want to know about the lifts, and now I know there are no lifts.
no, so now he wants to restore it. But if you live in that community and been in that area for years, it was trash. All right? This new tenant came on board, fixed it up, made the area more desirable, right? But we have people that's in the community that doesn't want to see progress, all right? And we have to move away from that. There's so many potential we can have in this community, and we can't allow people to stop the progress, all right? Bad enough he can't get additional clients because the bridge is shut down, right? But he's still willing to stay here. I think that we should give him a chance. He has done a great job over there. I mean, you see the work because you drive by there every day, all right?
By there earlier today.
So if you drive by there and you see what was there before, you should be happy that you see in progress. But for someone that was let go by the city to come up,
We're not gonna get into, we're not gonna do that.
all right?
Wait, we're not gonna do that.
But excuse me,
Oh, hold on.
excuse me. you know?
Just said, we're not going to do that, okay?
Let's not.
So let's just not go there. See, my gavel's all broken. All right, so Mr. Davis, I understand
Thank you.
what it is, and I appreciate your
Thank you.
comments. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, okay. And we understand that there are no lifts there. We got that. Clear. All right, perfect. All right. All right.
Just come back and plans.
Sorry?
I said he has to come back. Architect has to come back. Plans.
Yeah, we need plans, so if you can coordinate with staff and with council, she has the notes in terms of what's gonna be needed on those plans for the January meeting, then we can move forward with everything, but we do need to have the plans.
Can the plans just be a condition of the approval?
Unfortunately, we need to have the plans, beforehand.
So so to recap, you're looking for a lighting plan, an egress plan from the site, a location where the cameras are, and what the stormwater management is? Is that correct?
Yeah, all of the information you can obtain from our staff and council, and they'll tell you exactly what needs to be on the plans,
Okay.
right? And then as soon as you can get that to us, then we can move forward.
Just a question, Mr. Chair.
I've been waiting since.
We could completely understand, but there's a process, and the process is if we had those plans today, then we can do something. I understand, but I can appreciate that, but we do need that information in order to do what we have to do.
Can I ask the board a question, please? So for example, the stormwater plan, what relevance does that have for our current application?
But you can take a look at the zoning code from the city's website. Section 2, Article 7 will tell you all the requirements for site plan approval. And Article 6 will tell you all the requirements for the special permit approval. That's all we're looking for. They're required for the board.
And it makes no
stormwater-
difference. And it
I'm
makes
sorry?
no difference. And it makes no difference what the application is for. These requirements are for every single application, no matter the scale of the project being proposed or the
Correct.
relevance of these items to the project.
These are required for site plan and special permit approval. No matter the type of project, they're general requirements.
Can I make a clarification? This is not a site plan approval, it's special permit approval.
Correct, but special permit conditions are additional to site plan approval. You can take a look at section 267-30. So special permit is not a standalone approval. It's connected. Special permit are additional requirements needed in addition to the underlying site plan. So you must submit a site plan that conforms to Article 7 and then meet those 3 additional requirements for special permit approval, the intensity, everything that you talked about. What the board needs now is just that underlying site plan, which they'll stamp, will go to the building department and make your package complete.
So the special use permit requires a site plan approval, essentially, is what you're saying.
Correct. Correct. You'll see that in Article 6 under the special use permit provisions, specifically 267-30. I can read it
Okay.
into, just to read it into the record. It says the application shall include a site plan meeting the requirements of Chapter 267, Article 7, as well as a written statement describing the nature of the proposed use and how it will meet the requirements of this chapter, the special permit chapter. And we'll include notes. You'll get all of this in writing as well, so you can take time and review it with your client.
All right, Mr. Levin, if you have any questions in terms of if you missed anything, what's needed, please contact Mr. Herbert or our counsel. Actually, Mr. Herbert would be best so that he can walk you through it to make sure that we have everything that we need. If we had everything that we needed today, we would probably be able to do something.
Okay.
All right,
Understood.
so, okay. Excellent. The next meeting, what's the date for our January meeting?
January 7th.
January 7th? Okay, you're going to adjourn this application to January 7th. All right, next on the agenda. You like a
Oh,
want to break? Sure, question, yeah.
Oh,
I couldn't hear.
we should just run this as an coordinated review thing. Should we do a lead agency scope and lead?
we have time.
Yeah, we do have.
For that, yeah,
Okay,
the license is,
Did he move on?
well, he needs this before he can get what's needed from them. No, he has them. Right. Where is the point? If there is
Mr. Chairman?
Correct. All right. I want to keep moving. All right, all right.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman?
No, I'm sorry, guys.
Mr. Chairman? Hey,
All right. Okay, that's one, two. Okay. Hi.
The circulation. Like, do you need?
Yes. Thank you. All right, on that application, to make a motion that the planning board is the lead agency for this application that we just heard. Second, okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. All right, let's see. New public hearing. 3.3, case number PB 25-3, 408 South 7th Avenue.
Okay.
Okay, we have Mr. Shaheen Badali is the lead design professional. Owner is Nelson Baroa. 404-414 South 7th LLC. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shaheen Badali at 2 Wilson Place, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. If I may, before my presentation, I'd just like to briefly introduce two people, the former New York State DHCR Commissioner, Mr. Joseph Holland, and the former Mount Vernon Building Commissioner, Mark Warren, who'd just like to briefly speak about the project.
Well, thank you very much. Good evening.
My name is Joseph Holland, and I'm really pleased to be here tonight with my business partner, Mark Warren. We also have our investor partners. There's Nelson Baroa and Mary Ann Lawrence. Just acknowledge, yes, there are investor partners here. I have experience as a real estate developer and attorney. I've been Harlem-based for over 40 years, and I've been active both in the public sector and the private sector. On the public sector side, I was chief counsel to the New York State Senate Housing Committee, as well as New York State Housing Commissioner. On the private sector side, I've developed housing in Harlem, working both with the homeless as well as some mixed-use new construction. And I'm excited about bringing that experience in order to make this this project happen. And I let my business partner, Mark Warren, share.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, I wish you didn't lead with me being former commissioner, but it's a delight to be on this side of the podium. Most of you know my history of in private industry for several years before I was commissioner of buildings here. And I've cut my teeth in housing and development and urban planning throughout my career. I want to bring this to Mount Vernon as, you know, a new vision in terms of being able to develop the community in a contextual way and make sure that we, you know, our products are timeless. That being said, one of, you know, my career path has gone in many directions, and now I'm here, this new leg of my career. I want to make a big difference and grow the community as best as we possibly can. One of the, I guess, feathers in my cap and part of my career path was working as assistant general manager of construction for River Bay Corporation, which manages 350 acres, a little city called Co-op City, for several years. And I want to bring my asset management and construction knowledge and my architectural prowess to Mount Vernon and do our best to build a community. With that, I'll let Shaheen present our project, and, you know, hopefully we can move that forward.
Nice to see you, Mr. Warren.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Right. So if I may, I'm just going to briefly run through the project and what we have tonight. So flip to the site.
It's nice that you have plans for your application.
Thank you. I will say that I do support the previous application. So that being said, this application before you is on a vacant piece of land that exists on South 7th Avenue, on the south side of South 7th Avenue. It's an existing parcel that's approximately 100 by 105 deep, and is proposed to improve it with 6 new townhouses. The exterior of the townhouses are brick and stone as it's currently depicted. Each property is, or each building, I should say, is approximately 14 by 40 feet long. There's roughly 1,120 square feet of living space for a total of 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and an open living area in each townhouse. There's also a lower floor which contains 560 square feet of parking, mechanical systems, and a laundry area. The property as depicted would be surrounded with privacy hedges. Those are privets. Those are shown along all faces of the building. The rear yard would be improved with grass. It's a roughly 50-foot deep by 105-foot wide area. In the front, the yard would be, we're displaying a roughly 15-foot front yard, which is a little bit in excess of the 4-foot minimum that's required. We're showing an area that's landscaped with a mixture of trees and flowering shrubs, as well as some grassed areas. The site would also be improved with a stormwater management system, which would be an infiltration system that's Coltex. Those would be installed at the rear yard. So it'd be a central system, and all of the houses would be connected to one system. along the front of the house, proposed to have some small lighting that's just to essentially be above the front doors. And then as depicted, there's currently a driveway on one side of the house, which leads to the garage door entries at the rear. That's to maintain a more appealing facade and to not have garage doors on the front of the house. And as a result of that, there is some lighting along the driveway and in the backyard, and those are floodlights. So the lighting along the side and the back is a little more substantial than on the front. They would be downward facing and shielded as well. And yeah, in terms of the site plan work, the only other plan that we've submitted essentially is just an erosion control plan to show that we'd be mitigating all of the construction on our site during the work. And yeah, if the board has any questions or anything else you'd like me to run through, please do let me know. I'm sorry?
So I got plenty.
Oh, yeah, go, please. Shoot from the hip.
All right. Just for the record, I was born and raised a few houses down.
Cool.
Okay, so I know it's been over 30 years that spot's been a vacant lot.
Been a long time.
I know I'm not personally supposed to like have an opinion about it, but I'm just grateful that that area is finally, something's happening to it because the dumping and everything that's been going on for many, many years over there.
Thank you.
One of my biggest concerns is this, because I know it's still a problem on that block.
Mhm.
Is there any way the parking in the back can be a little bit pulled out some more? Because that street, there is it's not really a synagogue, but next to where I used to live, it's there. There's a church across the street, and there's also a church down the street. So there's three religious.
Sanford
okay.
has all those businesses and yeah.
And every Sunday,
Oh, it's busy.
people, it's crazy,
Okay.
right? So if you have 6 more families there, how many are going, we're just thinking about adults. So we're talking 12 extra new cars, maybe 15.
Mhm.
So I think the parking situation
There's a little.
is really
Okay.
gonna be a big deal, right?
I'm just gonna take some notes. Thank you.
So when you said 3 bedrooms, so it's not a split level, just each one is what it is.
Fully separated, and it's a 3-bedroom house, essentially, each one. The lowest floor is essentially all a garage that would be able to contain 2 cars. Right now, the way the exterior area is, that there isn't really a designated area to have additional parking outside.
Right.
We can do that. It would be at the cost of a little bit of usable open space for the tenants.
Mhm.
But if the parking is more beneficial, we definitely think, I definitely think we could add a parking area adjacent to the doors so that there could be perhaps 3 or maybe even 4 cars for each unit.
Mhm.
So I do think we could seek an alternative that would explore something like that. Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to take away from the aesthetics, 'cause just
Cool.
about what you've shown. This looks really good. And to be honest, that area needs some help.
We are also proposing, I know it's not always the biggest difference, but at least the finishes are somewhat a little bit improved, so it is brick and stone displayed and so.
Mhm. Yeah, that was one of my biggest cases.
And thank you for mentioning the parking, and it's nice to see that we have 2-car garages, as well, so that helps to alleviate, some of that concern. Is this being built to rent the townhomes or to sell the townhomes?
It's my understanding the intent is to sell. No.
To sell, so we're gonna have.
That is my understanding.
Okay,
Yeah.
full ownership, full tax, okay.
Yeah, so we can't, or we're not proposing to obtain a variance to provide different tax parcels, so it would be formed under a condo association, but
Okay.
they would be sold separate. Yeah.
HOA, okay.
Correct.
That's all right. Okay, so what is the height? So I'm trying to look at this and these,
They're about 35 feet high. They are designed currently to go right up to the limit of the height. Yeah.
okay, and just bear with me for a second. We've got the garage. Okay.
So the floor to floor height on the first 3 floors is 9 feet. That gets you up to 27. And then by the time you get to the roof ridge, you are at 35 feet roughly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's really 3 levels, because for some reason they talked about 4 levels.
Oh, no, it's definitely a 3-level house, but it will feel like a 3-story house.
Right.
I mean, it's 3 stories out of the
Right,
ground.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But effectively, it's 2 floors of living space and 1 floor of parking,
Right.
mechanical and laundry.
Okay. Let's talk about, we're gonna have granite curbs.
Yeah, so it'd be proposed to improve the sidewalks and the curbing in specification with the city's requirements. The curbing would be replaced or repaired to all match the granite curbing that's there. The grass island in between the sidewalk would be maintained, and then the sidewalk will likely be replaced. I mean, typically with this type of substantial construction, it's unlikely that they wouldn't damage the sidewalks and the curbs when they build it. So it's you know, we likely will have to replace everything, but if something ends up being maintained in good condition, we would try to maintain it. But we're definitely open to replacing everything if the board sees it fit. Absolutely, in both buildings would, and they'd also be fully sprinklered as a requirement of the code, so. The condensers? No, right now we're considering splits. So that does have a condenser, but it's not a huge condenser. In the backyard, I'll make sure to flag it on the drawings, but it would be definitely in the backyard. Yeah. It's not pretty. No. 100%. And yeah, and not only that, but we would likely also provide, and I'll display it, some bushes or some sort of screening so that the tenants of the properties themselves also don't have to view them, you know? Of course. Please. Right now, we're showing pavers, you know, so. Yeah, it's you know, I mean, as depicted, we're showing. It's showing pavers on the driveway and brick and stone and some large casement windows with some nice mullions in it. And so, you know, some pretty substantial investment that's to be made if it was to be approved, you know? Exactly, yeah. So we'll provide an alternative with that. I'll make sure that the mechanical units are displayed on the plan.
Let's get
yeah,
some
we-
consideration to not use the split.
Oh, okay. Well, is there a preference?
That would be my preference.
Got you. But is there a type of system that you like specifically, or you would want me to propose something else?
Let's just see a couple of options.
Cool, absolutely, yeah. And just to clarify, the splits that we would propose would likely still be ducted. They would not be wall-mounted units. So it would be still a decent, okay, cool, all right,
Well,
cool.
what I was gonna say that if you're considering, you know, doing the splits, and since we're talking about new construction also, they can go in the ceiling.
Exactly correct,
Right.
yes, yes.
So that's where, so if that's gonna be a consideration to do them, then those would be the ones that. you
I
should
could
be
provide
doing.
pictures
Right.
maybe of the type of system that I was envisioning, and it would be something either with, I mean, typically, maybe recessed cassettes or a ducted system. But I'll provide a couple of options and some pictures of the
Okay.
appearance, of the vents.
Just from an aesthetics perspective.
Right.
To avoid having the, the raceways on the side of the house.
100%, there would be, all of the refrigerant lines would definitely be contained within the building. And there would not be any of those like gutters mounted to, absolutely not. That would definitely not be, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty ugly, yeah. Okay, I propose.
Can we talk about the stormwater retention?
Absolutely, yeah.
Stated it's proposed to connect all of the stormwater into one system. True. And so we have a mark on the tanks proposed at the rear yard. All of the
Okay. All of the roof drains would be connected to underground piping that would lead to interconnected area drain piping that then leads to the stormwater system in the backyard. There's 10 call texts depicted here. There'd also be the installation of what's called like a storm filter, which is essentially like a pre-treatment, or it's not an oil water separator, but it's just a pre-treatment filter, and that catches any debris and other things. And so 100% of the stormwater on the site would be contained. The driveway areas would flow to area drains connected to underground piping, connected to those retention chambers, and the house gutters and leaders would be also connected to underground drains that then eventually lead to those same cul-de-sacs.
And what's the size of those, the heavy duty cul-de-sacs? What's the size of it?
It's the 330 XL, so they are pretty large. And then and
What is it rated for?
like the total volume? I have to flip to the page. I don't know them. Unfortunately, I didn't print the page of spec. I can pull it up on my phone if that's okay.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, if I may?
I'm sorry, yes.
I'm just, while we're talking about stormwater management, I would just like to interject. We have, the comment from the fire department. The deputy commissioner, made a statement that said, FDMV is aware of underground streams and extremely high water table adjacent to this site. What are the developers plan to do to mitigate this issue? So I wanted to bring this up now since we're talking about under subsurface stormwater retention. I'll go back to the rest of the fire department's comments later.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that said.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I don't have soil data. It's something that we can definitely collect prior to the next meeting and present that to the board. But I do not currently have a soil percolation test to be able to verify that location. We'll perform that, and we'll make sure to have that data for you prior to the next meeting. Okay, and so the installed storage of the chamber itself with no gravel is 79.26 cubic feet. But then once we add the gravel around it, approximately 125 cubic feet. And so 10 times that is going to give us approximately 1250-ish cubic feet. Yeah. No, thank you.
All right, and these are fully sprinklered also?
Because they're 3 stories and attached, the building code is going to require us to sprinkle them. And that would be an NFPA 13D system, if that's relevant. It's just based on the height, like as soon as you have a 3rd story in a residential building in New York City. Oh, yeah, so that's based on a 6.47 inch storm, so that's the total amount of rain, but per hour it's 3 inches. So we do both ways. Yeah. So it's 3 inches per hour, 6.5 inches in a day. That's the way the calculations work out. We typically actually add like roughly 10 to 15% of whatever we get just as like a buffer. So you'll likely see like it's designed for, let's say, about 7 inches, something like that in reality.
But if it turns out that the border table is higher adjacent to the site, they have to adjust its number.
Actually, we would have to completely redesign the system. There's a code requirement in New York State that we're 3 feet above the water table from the bottom of our system.
So depending on what we determine, we may have to come back with something completely different next month. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. We'll make sure to perform that and to take that into account. I'll just mention that one solution could be to create a mound where we raise the grade, but obviously that would not be our preference, you know, yeah.
Okay, and since there are some shared walls that are there, can you talk about fire rating and things of that nature?
Yes, so the party walls between the buildings, they wouldn't actually be built as party walls. They are displayed as being completely independent, but they would be 3-hour fire rated between the buildings. So. It's currently depicted as frame, but it would be built out of a 3-hour rating. But it's currently depicted out of frame. Again, because it wouldn't be an actual party wall. They would have independent structures. So if one were to burn down, it wouldn't necessarily take the other one down. It could be explored to provide masonry, but it's not currently proposed. Well, we'd be likely seeking to do an all-electric installation right now, I believe, so. Yeah, yep.
We'll talk about lighting.
On the exterior, we have lighting that's displayed at the front doors. So there's some smaller lights that are displayed above each of the front doors, and then we have some larger floodlights which are displayed along the driveway and parking areas in the back. Excuse. Please excuse me, it looks like I did not print, unfortunately, the lighting plan, but it is contained within your package. I'm very sorry about that. It should be one of the last pages. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know. Right. But yeah, so you have just one light above each door at the front. You have the 2 lights along the driveway and then a light above each of the back garage doors. The side lights and the back lights are floodlights. The specifications are provided right there on that second page. And then the front lights are just a small light above the entry door, just to provide lighting for pedestrians.
Proposing to have cameras, security cameras, or?
Absolutely. We didn't provide a camera plan. I'll definitely provide one on this next iteration. But yes, we would absolutely have cameras for the property. Right. Well, so there's a really large backyard right now that would be a shared space, you know, so it's roughly 5,000 square feet right now. Now it'll likely be a little bit smaller by adding a little more parking, but it would still be pretty substantial.
And so the landscaping around the perimeter?
So the whole perimeter right now is being surrounded by hedges. So those are the hedges depicted as a privet, which is kind of like a broad leaf. Like it's like I could put up a picture if you like. It's also on that next page. But yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to say a wild boat, but it goes in every direction a little bit. So it provides kind of a natural cover, you know. And it requires just a little bit less maintenance because of that.
And what's the height typically that we're talking?
It's pretty low. They're about a person's height.
Okay.
I can pull up the exact amount right now.
Was about 5 feet, 4 feet?
Correct. About 5 feet. Correct.
Okay.
Just stepping back to the backyard for a second, this is a big open space.
Right now, that's how it's shown.
So
Yeah.
we're not separating the space between the townhomes. So
Right.
if I live right smack in the middle,
Right.
I just go out into like all points of the.
I mean, it is yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. It is a commonly managed. You're right though. Absolutely. I mean, it's commonly managed in an HOA, so the concept would hopefully be that civility would reign and that would work. But we could explore separating them.
Like with each unit, there's no like small patio slab or anything like that. It's just.
See what you're saying?
It's just.
Right.
It's-
Well, yeah, I mean, that's actually a great idea, right? We could definitely provide individual spaces within that common space just to have something more private and then still, so I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're requiring at this point. I'm just asking.
Yeah, but I like it. I want to incorporate it. So,
Saying,
okay,
my place, and I walk out with that.
Right.
Like, we can expand.
right. You need something there. No, I like that. Thank you. Well,
But that doesn't change. That's still in the,
yeah, so the car itself would definitely enter the back. And then I think most people who live in the house will likely just pull their house into the garage and they'd be inside the house and walk up. It's on the back of the house. On all six, it's on the back. Yeah. No, so there would have to be a distance somewhat between the two, but we could still provide an area that was separated and private, either through green, through fencing, through some method where we could provide, hey, these could be separated patios or something for each tenant. I thought it was yeah, I think it's a great idea, actually, yeah. It would probably provide added value. Yeah. May I? So you're finding little areas, for example. I see the Celtics do the court. Certainly, man. Like that, you have what they got. I guess you gotta rebuild the system.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
what about if there's a way in which over here,
They should be able to look at that.
you could have some type of a, yeah. So that money, so you could, you put on that. Put out thoughts, barbecue, do some. Private states. Thank you.
Thank you.
At least you got the, yeah.
Right?
Right. Right, no.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? To make the deck, so you go outside, you can actually, set up their barbecue, and then if you wanted to go out there, but at least you.
Yeah.
Somebody may be like, I'm not going out there, I got my own little thing. So, all right.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question or it's not time yet?
Who's speaking?
That's Bassem Shala on the Zoom.
Yeah, I believe
Oh,
it's Mr.
okay.
Shala.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
I
Where
apologize.
the public is speaking, that's okay. That's okay. Wanted to see, is there anything else?
Yeah, there's two agency comments I can just read to you. Hold on, let me pull them up. So I'll resume with the fire department comments. So in addition to the water table comment, they made a comment about installing sprinklers as per NFPA 13D, which is being provided.
Yep.
And then the last comment is further detail of construction is needed the type of construction, the lightweight use of truss roof and flooring. So, there was a question, he puts a question mark after it. So you put lightweight in quotes, lightweight use of truss roof and flooring, question mark. So, I guess he would want more detail about that, whether or not you're using that,
That's fair.
and the
Yeah,
plan.
I-
So with the plan revisions, he wants to review it again, is what I'm saying.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'll make sure to include is a building crocs section that clearly depicts how we're gonna construct it. And just for the board's information, it's not proposed to use that lightweight truss construction, which can trigger some additional fire protection requirements. And these are traditionally framed houses right now is what's proposed. But I'll definitely provide that additional information.
Okay.
To further detail the type of construction and just to make sure that it's clearly depicted, there's no trusses or lightweight framing like that, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And then we have another comment from the city engineer. Actually, no, it's from the Department of Public Works. I'm sorry. And the comment is, provide additional site details showing size of proposed drop curb, location, and construction details. Is this concrete sidewalk new or existing? And then it's provide a schematic utility, sanitary and storm, sewer, and supply line locations.
Thank you. We'll make sure to provide all that information for our next iteration. Thank you.
And just so you're aware, these are in OpenGov.
Oh,
They-
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not emails, they're OpenGov, so you can see them at any time.
Thank you.
Okay, council?
Yes, can we just review the zoning table? Simply to determine whether variances might be needed as part of this application. You mentioned building height as 35 feet, which is permitted. And the proposal is 40 feet, or will it be adjusted or kept at 40 feet? Or if you don't,
The
you can
drawing,
either,
I can flip to the page. It's depicting 35.
okay.
Oh, maybe there's a typo in the table?
On, yeah, sheet A 2.0, 002.0, 3 of 17.
Okay, absolutely correct. It's, and please excuse me for the typo on the table. It does say 4 stories and 40 feet, but it is 3 stories and 35.
Oh.
And the drawings do depict it as 3 stories and 35. I'll immediately fix that error.
And then the other was building coverage. 50 is permitted.
Correct. Oh, and I have 60 listed. Okay, I will adjust the values as well. Thank you.
And also what is proposed.
I'll provide a diagrammatic area. I'll provide an area diagram to clearly show the amount.
Okay. And the last was impervious surfaces.
So I'll do both. I'll provide diagrams for both and I'll clearly depict the percentage amounts. So
Okay.
that way it's clear and correct.
Thank you.
And sorry, so it was building height, lot coverage and impervious surface coverage? Building coverage and impervious
Yep.
surface coverage?
Building height stories, building height feet,
Yep.
impervious surfaces, building coverage permitted, and building coverage proposed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak in regards to this application?
Good evening.
Good.
Again, so my name is Natasha Serrano. I reside at 419 South Sixth Avenue. I've been an owner for 7 years. I'm glad to see that there is a project and something that will be occupying that space, which I think is great. My concern was one with the parking that you had raised that, which seemed to be clarified. And I just wanted, which I didn't hear, if these are going to be rentals or if they're gonna be owned. Okay, because that, as a homeowner, that's where my concern was of bringing, when you have a homeowner, there's more invested here and, I'm trying to be a long time homeowner here. And all the improvements would be great for the area. So it definitely, I'm looking forward to that. But as a property manager, because I do property management, so yeah, those sites about designating the backyard space, definitely would want to address that because that would raise some issue along the way. I do condos, so free space like that becomes an issue and can be an issue down the line. So, but thank you. This sounds great so far.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hi, please.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Bazin. I'm new to the community. I own the home directly in front of the property. That's the new construction. I do think the new construction is a great idea, especially to fill in the vacant lot. It's a lot of just garbage dumping, people sleeping there. So as the person that's sharing that space, I do agree with that. I think my biggest concern with the property is the construction hours. As a person that is directly in front, what other hours are you guys going to be interrupting my quality of life on the weekends? I also have tenants. What are the lights, the lighting in the backyard? Are they going to be gleaming through the windows? And I also live on the property as well. So those are my biggest concerns. And my other big concern is the taxes. So currently, right now, I'm paying about $28,000 in taxes for a 4-family. So I want to understand the taxes and how will that impact my property? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? What is that?
It's going to be
Oh,
right where it is.
Okay, okay. So that's good to know.
Right.
And then I think the construction timing and hours, if we can kind of get a negotiation on that, I would be happy on that, especially the weekends. I work a lot. So the weekends, your quality of life.
Just so you know that the process in terms of this, if this moves forward and it gets approved,
Mhm.
then the building department would be, in communication with the owner.
Okay.
Developer, and they would work out, what that schedule is going to be, being mindful that there are, residents that live
Right behind.
right across.
Yeah, right in front.
All of that. So
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
So that would be taken into consideration.
Okay, perfect. So other than that, I think it's great. We definitely need it in that area, new faces. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and thank you for coming back up.
Check the time and I hope approved for the duration of the construction.
Well, you know what? It's wonderful that we have the architect and we have the developers here, so we can.
So first of all, I'd just like to mention, I think that the city of Mount Vernon code doesn't allow us to do construction during the weekend unless we have like an additional approval. So I think we'd be limited to straight weekdays. So just to mention, and there's also a limit, I think, at 6 p.m., I believe. So I think that the law is kind of going to prohibit us from being too negatively impactful, hopefully. In terms of the approval process, if the board was to approve this application, we'd then go to the architectural review board. That's probably a 1 to 2 month process. If that gets approved, we go back to the building department. That's very open-ended. That can be a couple months. It could be a little bit longer. So.
Yeah, the actual construction.
So construction time of a project of this nature, I would anticipate it to take anywhere from 8 to 12 months, but up to 12 months typically. So.
Okay. So how will that impact the flow of traffic as far as like Fifth Avenue being a main street?
It's a pretty busy area for sure, and 7th Ave gets a lot of traffic of people kind of like cutting through to get down to the Bronx and to the highway. Typically, this type of work's really gonna only have big trucks in the very beginning phase, which is gonna be like, let's say, about a month. And so yeah, there's some trucking and some deliveries during that time, and they're gonna have to be well coordinated, but the site itself is really big. And the building itself only occupies not very small, but a portion that is small enough that they'll still be able to take deliveries, store materials, and the street itself, I mean, as long as the right contractor's doing the work, should not be affected, so.
Thank you.
Question there, y'all, to the young lady, is the alternate side of the street parking?
Yeah.
So, on Seventh Avenue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they have alternate side of the street parking.
Yeah, and then we also have three churches. So I have a church right next door, a church, directly diagonal across the street, and then one at the beginning of the block. So it's parking, so parking, I'm happy that was said, it's necessary.
It can be tough.
There's actually a church behind you.
Yeah.
Which you're about into, so it's about 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yes.
This kind of.
Yes, still a lot. See, parking.
What is this? Secret.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak in regards to this application? Up here?
Yeah.
1 second, one second. All right. Now I'm gonna go to the Facebook, to the streaming, so please. Hello.
Good evening, Chairman. This is Basim. Mr. Shaheen, it was a wonderful presentation. My only two questions were, was this pre-existing dwelling or was an empty lot?
I don't know the intimate history of the property. I mean, it's been vacant for some time. There might have been, I don't know if you know.
Right. You mentioned that you have the stormwater and Coltex and all that, which would be adequate to collect all the rainwater, driveway and gutters and leaders and all that. Now, how would you handle this will to serve situation?
I believe you're mentioning the sewer system. Is that what you're referencing?
Affirmative.
Is that
I think it was mentioning stormwater, and I think that
Stormwater?
what was indicated was that given that
No,
we
the
have to.
stormwater, he handled it. He has the Coltex, the storm drainage, so it will be collected and obviously would be adequate for the roof and all that. Now, the sewage system, as I brought on the previous application, how you going to handle this, the flow calculation? Mr. Badali knows. And
So I do want to make the board aware that I did represent Mr. Shala for the application at 405 South Fifth Avenue and 454 South 9th Avenue, which were also for townhouse approvals that were successful before this board. I believe his question is based on the fact that he has yet to build construction, based on the fact that the city engineer has requested that real-time flow measurements of the sewer and street are taken, which have yet to been performed. And so the city engineer's conditions have yet to been satisfied, and we've yet to receive a letter that they will serve us. I believe this is what he's referencing.
Okay.
It's my understanding we go through the exact same process for this application. I don't see why
I
the
was
city
gonna say,
engineer.
it would be
Yeah.
the same thing, and the city's engineer would weigh in terms of what
Well,
needs to be done. In terms of.
No,
the infrastructure.
my main concern is, of course, it halted me for 2 years and so or more. Basically, what my concern is, I just wanted to know if there is a different path, because I have exhausted all my resources trying to resolve this. I haven't gotten nowhere with the city.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. I mean, that's once it's just like when your application was approved. I mean, we were done. The planning board was done with our job. Okay, so that's runs into, building and city engineer and DPW, not us any longer. So unfortunately, there's nothing that the planning board can do to assist you. Except, we look forward to when you're able to, to build, because I know it's going to be a great project.
I will mention, as it relates to this application, we definitely will fully comply and provide any amount of reports or testing or whatever the city engineer requests to provide satisfaction that we can connect to the sewer line. So And I fully anticipate that he will request that we measure the flow of the sewer line. And then we'll provide a calculation displaying the amount of flow that we have from our property. And then that will display that the amount added can be supported by the current volume there.
So
typically-
these calculation will be done by you, right?
That's correct. Now,
Okay, and in my case, we're not done. In other words, I had to, I
so
was
your
not aware
calculation-
of
Please bear
this.
in mind that you are referencing calculations versus the measurement of the flow of the sewer. So that does need to occur. You do need to measure the flow of the sewer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Okay, hi. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to come stand, okay?
To the water table. So just making sure that you guys have some type of system for the basement. So essentially your basement layer will be the garage. But that's technically what you guys are doing. That needs to be kind of like floodproof or waterproof. So what happens in the area is when it gets too much rain, the basement floods. So the church next to me has like this pump system. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the technical thing. And it basically pumps the water and it sucks. Sub pump? Okay, I guess sub pump. Yeah, it has the system and it sucks the water. But if you don't have that, it molds the basement or the garage area.
And I very much appreciate the input because we're going to take that into consideration. The buildings right now are designed to be at grade, so there won't be a lower level area. Now, that doesn't mean there's still a chance we get water there, and as a result of whatever testing we do, we'll definitely look at that. And you know, I'll speak with ownership and see. It might be smart for us to add that in if we know that that's a problem in the area. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in regards to this application that we haven't heard from? Okay. Any additional questions? Nope.
I have none.
All right, so in terms of
I got some homework.
information for the January meeting.
Yes.
If there's anything that's needed, please, reach out to planning staff.
Thank you.
And so this way you can encompass that with the revisions for
Oh,
the meeting.
Thank you very much. I feel pretty confident.
I knew there was gonna be one. Jeez.
Okay.
I knew there was one.
it was just one other one. The EAF mapper
Yeah.
indicated possible remediation site. If you could provide details regarding that.
Yes, so, and I'm sorry, that's an older, I now flagged them, and since it was an older application, I didn't do it, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so it's an automatic tool where when there's a contaminated site within a certain radius of our site, it's gonna flag it and put it on the application. So I'll list the actual address of where this contaminated site is. It has nothing to do with our property. It's just within a certain radius of our property, there is a site that has a spill case with the DEC currently. And I will, thank you, I'll make sure to flag the property location. And I'll just briefly mention that I have the full intent to resubmit all the commentary that was provided today prior to the next meeting, so and yes.
All right, and you have the date for the January meeting, Mr. Badali?
Actually, I don't. If you know it, I'd love to hear it. So, but it's the 7th? Oh, cool. Okay. All right, let me write this. Was the new calendars posted already?
And no, we're actually going to be.
You're voting on that next?
On the calendar
Okay.
in a little while.
Okay.
All right, at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
But just hot off the press, that's what it is.
Thank you.
Okay, so being that there are no additional questions. we will
Mr.
see
Chairman?
you-
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
Chairman, we should just do another lead agency circulation for this one.
Thank you. Thank you. Boy, so I will make a motion that the planning board assume lead agency for this application.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
now we will see you January.
Good night.
Okay, next on the agenda
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you for coming. Right there we go. Okay, we're gonna start with our next. Let's see. Okay, you want to do, yeah, we have administrative items right now. So we have the resolution that has been drafted for 677 North McQuestion Parkway. Public hearing was closed, and we did seeker also for last meeting, I believe, correct?
I'm sorry. Yes, secret was completed.
Okay. And so now we're just, everyone had a chance to look at the resolution that was sent.
I just had a few questions for the board.
Okay, so council has a couple of questions for us.
I'm going to flip to page 5, the conditions listed on page 5. Condition number 6, I just needed clarification on the hours of operation for the park, for the parking lot. We mentioned 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. How about days per week?
That was 7 days.
7 days per, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
And then on page 3, there's a bubble in the right margin that contains comments from the county planning board. Just wanted to know if the board would like those included as conditions. Number 1, the county planning board recommended looking at a vegetative rain garden in the landscaping. Is that something you might like to put as a condition of at least consider vegetative rain garden, including it in your landscape plan? Second was pervious pavement. Potential for bicycle parking. Potential for EV parking. The EAF mapper indicated a potential critical environmental area. And then I think DPW requested a scope of work to be done beyond.
I think that the mapper, because I mean, I know that area, well over there. So in terms of
Flooding, I don't see that as being an issue.
Which item are you referencing?
you were talking about EAF, the EAF mapper, critical wetlands, regulated water bodies.
Yes, the mapper just indicated it could be a critical environmental area. So what I was thinking was just adding conditions that the applicant would address these.
Yes, address them,
Okay,
absolutely.
Just so you're aware, the critical environmental area is the Bronx River,
Is the Bronx River?
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
which is on the other side of the tracks.
Right.
From where, so it's the Fleetwood station is in between the park and subject site and the Bronx River.
So yes, we would agree that the Bronx River has been certainly prone to.
okay, thank you.
So yes, so yes, we were in agreement with incorporating all that. And-
Okay, okay.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the the resolution and encompass the information that council has just and our commissioner has just mentioned to us.
Second.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Thank you, thank you. All right, and we have a concept plan that
Okay, so
excited to hear about.
I'm gonna try to do this with the Zoom at the same time. Let me see if I'm successful. Okay. 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 So I have two presentations for you. The first one is, excuse me, is the concept plan presentation for 165 Summit Avenue. So this is a proposal that you saw a few months ago. It was last reviewed in, I believe, February. And so this is another iteration of that. So the development objective with this application is to subdivide a site with available vacant land under the existing RMF 6.75 zoning. And to provide more housing units with that. The new housing units are intended to further the range of housing types in the area and to create additional housing opportunities in the city. The previous proposal, which you are familiar with, involved renovating an existing house on the site, which as a 4-family house and providing parking behind the house. Then the applicant proposed to subdivide the property to create 3 additional lots. And it was proposed to place new 2-family houses on each of the 3 new lots. This was compliant with the RMF 6.75 zoning. The planning board began its review on December 4th of 2024. The public record, and there were 3 meetings. The public record included opposition from the neighbors about density and parking. The public record also included staff recommendations to approve the project once the plans were revised for the February 5th meeting. The planning board voted to disapprove the proposal at the February 5th meeting. So there were 3 meetings total, ending with the disapproval. In this case, it's the same applicant, but a new application. So there is a provision for this. It's in the chapter of the city code that pertains to the planning board. There's a special section called reapplication. So after an application has been decided, no matter presented to the planning board shall again be presented to or entertained by said board within a period of 3 years from the date of such decision or determination, or if renewed by the courts, within the same period after the final adjudication thereof, except upon showing by the applicant to the satisfaction of the planning board that there has been a material change in the circumstances under consideration in the original proceeding. So this is a decision you can make about whether or not there is a material change in the circumstances or in the project. And so when I show you the concept plan on the following slides, you can make that determination as to whether or not you believe the applicant can apply for this new application. In this case, there's been a change in the design professional, and the proposal is now for a 3-lot subdivision instead of a 4-lot subdivision. So this would involve the creation of 2 new lots. 1 new lot would have frontage on Summit Avenue next to the existing building, and then there'd be 1 new lot with frontage on Claremont Avenue on the other side of the lot. In this case, a new 2-family house is proposed for the new lot fronting on Summit Avenue, and 6 detached townhomes are proposed for the new lot fronting on Claremont Avenue. And the other change that's happened since you last reviewed this is that the city has adopted a comprehensive plan, which provides additional guidance for the entire city. This is the site plan for the new application. This is just conceptual. This is not what they would submit necessarily for a regular review, but this provides an overview of what is proposed. So you can see here, this is the existing structure on the site, which would be rehabilitated into a 4 a 4-unit building, and that there are 8 parking spaces that would be added behind the structure to provide the parking that zoning requires. Adjacent to that would be the new 2-family dwelling on the Summit Avenue side. And then on the other side, the Claremont Avenue side, you can see the 6 single-family townhomes that are proposed. The comprehensive plan speaks to this area. In the comprehensive plan, we have this area noted as the Chester Hill neighborhood. The comprehensive plan discusses it briefly. You can read it here, but basically it talks about how the neighborhood contains generally single, 2, and 3-family homes in the northern portion of the neighborhood, and that's where this property is located. And it notes that larger multifamily buildings are located on the southern end of the neighborhood, south of East Prospect Avenue, closer to the train station. So basically, it summarizes it by saying the building typologies in this neighborhood include detached dwellings, townhouses, multifamily buildings, mixed-use buildings, civic buildings, and 1-story commercial buildings. And then in terms of proposed future land use, the comprehensive plan recommends that the existing high-density residential area located in the southwest corner of the neighborhood, that's not where this is located, be expanded to reflect the existing pattern of multifamily use in that area, close to the Metro North station. And then on the right hand of the slide, you can see what the comprehensive plan shows for this neighborhood. So this box here that's on the right-hand side shows the existing zoning, and I marked the map with a little red star showing where the site is located. So you can see here that the site is located in the RMF 6.75 zoning district. When you move to the east on the opposite side of Claremont Avenue, it's a 1-family zoning. It's R1 4.5. And then there's also a 2-family zone just south of that. This is kind of further away from the site. The comprehensive plan does not propose any zone changes in this area, but it does kind of confirm the existing zoning. So in this case, the comprehensive plan discusses, medium density residential, right? So that's where the site is located. It's in this kind of salmon colored shaded area here, noted as medium density residential. So what does that mean? So this category includes detached single-family homes and individual lots, attached single-family homes, 2-family homes, townhouses, and multifamily buildings. Conversions of large existing dwellings to multifamily housing is anticipated. It's located in traditional neighborhood settings. These areas are auto-centric but have improved access to public transit. And these neighborhoods are frequently located in transitional areas. What they mean by that is, zoning goes from higher to lower. This is kind of an in-between area. And the zoning speaks to that. The zoning is RMF 6.75. That allows a range of housing types. So you can have single-family, 2-family, 3-family, and you can have townhouses. So that's what the applicant has proposed in the site plan. This is the same picture you saw before. These are all consistent with zoning, consistent with the comprehensive plan as proposed on this site plan. So I'll take you through each piece of the site plan. This is in the upper right-hand corner here, you see a photo of the existing structure on Summit Avenue. This house has been, there has been work being done on this house throughout the year. When I went by to do a site visit, I saw workers working on the property. And the idea is to convert it. This had been used in the past as kind of like a convalescent home. Now it's going to be restored as a 4-unit, 4 dwelling units in the structure. It's a grandfathered use because the structure has existed for some time. But what is different, you can see here on the aerial photo that it's just green space behind the lawn and whatnot behind the structure. The applicant would add a small parking lot with 8 parking spaces to accommodate the parking requirements under the current zoning. Then next to that is a proposal for a two-family house, which would be immediately adjacent. This is a rendering of what the house could potentially look like. These are the floor plans that you would see in the house. So I'll go back a slide. You see here, there's a driveway that goes alongside the house. That driveway would lead to a two-car rear garage at the rear of the structure. And then there would be, the floor plan shows basically an apartment on each floor. Moving on to the townhouses on the Claremont Avenue side, there's 6 houses that would be built all in an attached fashion along the front of the property. This is a rendering of what that could potentially look like. They would all have garages on the front, immediately adjacent to the curb. And these would be single family. So you would have the 2-car garage on the ground floor level or the basement level. And then you would have it'd basically just be a 1-family house, but in a townhouse configuration with my eyes aren't so good anymore, with 3 bedrooms on the second floor. Oh, 4 bedroom. Okay. I couldn't read if it was a den or but 4 bedrooms on the second floor. Thank you. So this must be reviewed by the plan examiner to determine whether or not variances are required. However, looking at it internally with planning department staff, we believe that this will meet all RMF 6.75 townhouse regulations and not require any variances. So to compare the old plan versus a new plan, so with the new plan, there is a increase in dwelling units. The old plan had a 4-family house that you saw, that's still the same, but plus 3 new 2-family houses, so that would total 10 dwelling units. The new plans show the same 4-family house, 1 of those 2-family houses plus 6 townhouse units, so that equals 12 dwelling units. However, with this, although the number of units has increased, the diversity of the units has also changed. In the old proposal, there was 4-family house and then 2-family houses. In this case, there's a 4-family house, a 2-family house, and then 6 townhouses. So it's a little bit of a different variety and diversity of housing units. This, the old plan, the new plan also has more parking spaces than the old plan. The old plan had 8 parking spaces for the 4-family house. That's still the same. And then 2 parking spaces for each 2-family house. In this case, you still have the 8 parking spaces for the 4-family house. You still have the 2 parking spaces for the 2-family house, but there's just 1 2-family house. And then each of the townhouses, which are single-family houses, have 2 parking spaces each. So there's more parking in the new plan and more parking per unit in the new plan than there was in the old plan. In speaking with the applicant, as these plans were developed, the applicant, expressed to me, things that this is while the comprehensive plan was ongoing, and open to public review. There's 2 things I wanted to call to your attention from the comprehensive plan that I believe that the applicant is trying to address. And in this case, it is the fact that Mount Vernon has basically had an unusual form of growth over the last couple of decades that is not the same as what other municipalities in Westchester have been experiencing. We have a growth in a population older than 60 years old, and we have a decrease in population in almost all of the categories. If you look at the numbers, how they read, I mean, it's not exact, but you look at who was between 40 and 49 years old in the year 2000, that number is almost the same 20 years later in an age cohort that's 20 years older. So basically, what you can infer from this is that while the city's population is relatively stable, the age cohorts are shifting dramatically. And in speaking with the applicant, these units, these housing types, the idea is to create a range of housing types that might be appealing to people in different age brackets so that you can bring in people of all different ages to maybe correct this imbalance a little bit. And as you all know, this has played out in school enrollments, where we've had to close a number of schools. And we just don't have the children that we once had in this city. So that is the end of this particular presentation. At this time, you may want to discuss or have, have a discussion. If you have any feedback for me, I can communicate that to the applicant.
I have feedback.
Absolutely, okay.
My feedback is that this proposal falls flat for me. When this application was originally reviewed, one of the primary concerns was density. And we're adding more units, not less. And you need more parking spaces because you've added more units. So I fail to see how the applicant has addressed the primary concern that we had, which was density, which is well within the purview of this board. I can't speak for my fellow commissioners, but that's my view. The applicant was asked on numerous occasions to try to make adjustments to this plan to do something that will be more palatable from a density point of view and from a parking point of view for the community. We had several members of the community that came in here and spoke directly to the parking and the density issue. And it does not appear to me that, that those concerns have been addressed. I view this issue of diversity of units as a red herring. I don't think it matters. I think diversity, I think that density matters.
I would agree with those sentiments. We discussed density and that has not been addressed. Discuss potentially just doing with single family homes, 3-family homes, and see that we change that into townhousing, things of that nature. That's a whole thing to this particular application.
For that area, it requires when you had that movement of cars down Peyton, down Gray, from Claremont, we just see such a cluster, a deep, dense cluster on that side of town. That's what we all had concern.
And I think that one of the things, and I think that Commissioner Thompson was kind of getting, to it, was the residents in the area, they were concerned about the density, understand that something should be done there, but wanted to see something that could be done there, possibly, 3 single-family homes, one on Summit and 2 on Claremont, or possibly a 2-family on Summit and 2 1-families, on Claremont. And I think that was something where, in regards to density, I think that felt a lot better because you really could address parking, with that, very well. I just think that if we're going to do townhomes, that 6 townhomes, that's still, it's just too dense. It's just too many. I like the fact that it's more home ownership than necessarily rental units, but I just think that it's still too dense. So I think that if they could really come back and try to address that better, would go a long way. Commissioner Polio?
I happen to agree with fellow commissioners. The zoning didn't change, right? It's still the same.
So, right, so the zoning has not changed anywhere in the city because the comprehensive plan was just adopted.
But
So,
even was what it really
But it doesn't, it's moot for this because the comprehensive plan does not recommend zoning changes for this neighborhood. However, the zoning does permit what the applicant is proposing.
But permitted it also before, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this is just a shift around. That's all this is. He proposed a 2-family and renovated a 4-family. They're doing the same thing. Now, on the other side of the street, instead of putting up two families, we're just changing it up and now putting 6 1-families. So it's actually more dense than it was previously proposed. So I just don't. I have to agree with my fellow commissioners. It's not something that.
So with that, would you like me to move to the next presentation?
Please.
Okay. This next. Okay, so this next application is well, this is not an application. This is a referral. This is a referral from the city of Yonkers for a development at 1219 Yonkers Avenue. So this, if you're familiar with Yonkers Avenue, this is the site of the former Kimball Theater, which was built in 1937. The last movie was shown in this building in 1980. So if you're theoretically, if you're older than 50, you might remember going and seeing a movie here. If not, if you're younger than 50, you've never seen a movie here. After that, it became a furniture store. And then it stayed that way until 2004 and it was damaged by fire. And then later it was demolished in 2016. However, it's been considered for multifamily development since 2010. So after the fire, but before it was demolished, it was already being considered for a multifamily development. In this case, it is, they're proposing a 266 unit apartment building. And the reason they're referring it to us is because it's within 500 feet of the city line, which is the Bronx River, which is just where this picture is basically taken from. So it's a 266 unit apartment building. It's 14 stories tall. Well, 14 stories of living space above 5 stories of parking. And it's kind of built into the hill. So from the Bronx, so this is whatchamacallit, Bronx River Road at the low level. So it would be like a 19-story building from Bronx River Road. And from the top of the hill, it's a 14-story building. So there's 5 floors of parking. There's 278 parking spaces. So it's about 1 space per unit. And there'll be 1,600 square feet of ground floor retail. So I'll just take you through each floor because it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. I've been reviewing this project, just so you're aware, when I worked at the county, I saw the first iteration of this. So I've been looking at these plans for 15 years. So any questions, just ask me. I've been staring at this for a long time. So this is the ground floor and there'll be a garage entrance from Bronx River Road, right where that red arrow is. And so some cars will enter the garage that way. 1 floor up will be the entrance to the building, a pedestrian entrance. So this will be from Yonkers Avenue. So you walk into the lobby, but it'll just be an elevator lobby. There won't be anything there. You just an elevator, you press the button and you go up to the lobby. And then there's just more parking on this level. And the same thing with the 3rd level. The 4th parking level will have an entrance from, I forget the name of the street. I think it's Crescent Street. So it's as you're going up the hill from Bronx River Road, you kind of go around the curve. There's a little street to your right, Crescent Street. There'll be another entrance to the parking from there. And then you go up another level with parking. And now we're on the 6th level. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the 6th level, but it's also the lobby level. So this is where, so when you come in that pedestrian entrance, or if you come in from where you park your car, you go to that elevator core, and then you'll go to this level where the lobby is. So this is where the lobby is, the mail room, the laundry room, all that stuff, gym. I And then also be a roof deck above the parking levels for the residents to use. And there'll be 6 apartments on this level as well. And then going above that, you're looking at level 4 through 16. It's the same floor plan for each level, about 20 apartments per floor. And then this is what the building would look like as an elevation. You can see here, it's just a big building, big rectangular apartment building above the parking and amenity levels. And this is the back side of the building. This is what would not face Yonkers Avenue. You can see an interesting feature with this is that they're going to put like this green, like a lattice work to kind of screen the parking, and it will have plantings on it, like vertical plantings, which is a nice feature. And then these are the other 2 elevations. So for next steps, you're under no obligation to provide comments to the city of Yonkers, but you can if you are so inclined. So please let me know. And I can send a letter or memo to them.
I mean, I would say that I think that they really need to pay close attention to their traffic study.
Okay.
Because it's, you know, it's a pretty sizable building that's there, and just kind of that area where, you know, Yonkers Ave, coming across to see like I see more congestion.
Okay, so just so you're aware, Yonkers Avenue is a state road in that location. Even though it doesn't have like a sign with a number on it, it's actually a state road. So state DOT is going to have to sign off on this. So
Right,
they're going to
gotcha.
vet this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but we can still bring that concern to them.
I mean, it's, yeah, I just see that that's, you know, it's gonna be, you know, somewhat of an inconvenience for people, you know, in the morning and rush hour and stuff, but,
I mean,
I haven't seen a nice, like, architectural rendering. I mean, the way that it looks right there, it looks very generic.
Yeah, I think on the,
Institutional, nothing, there are no elements that make me like, wow, that looks great.
this is the rendering that came with the plans.
Right.
Here.
You know, it looks kind of like that building that I'm not a big fan of, that's in Mount Vernon. That is right there on the train,
Right.
you know, it's,
I mean, this building is intended to be transit-oriented development, so the idea is the hope is that people who choose to live here-
location wise, I think it's great. They're gonna have, you know, absolutely, people will definitely, you know, like it because you can walk right to the train there.
And just so you're aware,
I
what
think that it will help to improve the area right there by Mount Vernon, west as well.
when this project was initially proposed in 2010, it was proposed as senior housing. And I was working for the county planning board at the time, and they protested. They were like, this should be like for people who are working. I mean, it's right next to the station. So they did change that. And then they included the affordable set aside. Well, originally it was proposed as senior housing. Now it's going to be market rate housing, with a 10% affordable set aside. So Yonkers has an affordable housing
10% is
ordinance. Oh, pardon?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Yonkers has an affordable housing ordinance, so this is by their ordinance.
Yeah, that's, no, I think they'll do well. And I think that, you know, we can potentially benefit at least, you know, the Metro North Station over there. Because you're gonna have more people, and hopefully that will mean that, you know, oh, what I would say is, and I don't know whether or not it's a possibility, but maybe, you know, improve lighting, you know, by the Metro North Station, you know, I don't know how that would kind of work. Maybe they can do something as part of their plan.
Okay.
To improve the lighting there, because they're gonna have a lot of people, residents, that are going to be walking to the train there. So I think that, you know, if we can enhance that and make it safer.
Just so you're aware, I believe the bridge over the Bronx River Parkway is a county bridge. So that the county might be asking for, I mean, if there's lighting on the bridge.
Right.
You know, because I hear.
Or maybe there's a way of reaching out to the county, you know, with concerns, saying, listen, you know, this is something that's there. You know, we would love to see better lighting there, you know, safety concerns.
Okay.
Something like that.
Generally in between the building and the station entrance.
Right.
Right. I know it does get dark underneath the track when you go
Yeah.
under, I mean, I've done it myself. Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have more people,
Right.
you
Good
know, and I'm
point.
thinking that you're probably gonna have, single, young people, young women walking there, at night, things of that nature, and certainly I just think that safety should be a concern.
Okay.
Yes, several older character stores if you wanna consider, the way in Carvel and walk down Woodburn Avenue, in McDonald's and TI.
Right.
You did.
They don't think about it.
Okay, good points. Thank you.
So what I'll do is I'll type this up into like a draft memo, and then I can circulate it to the board. We would just have to respond to the city of Yonkers before December 10th, but something I can give you, you
Yeah.
can chew it on over the weekend and let me know. You know, we don't have to get in early, we just have to get in by the 10th. Yeah.
And then I think last on the agenda is the calendar for 2026.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, everyone had a chance to look at it? Great, make a motion to approve the 2026 calendar. There's a second, a motion second, all in favor, aye. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye. Favor, aye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's right, I keep forgetting, oh, boys.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.